Good. Well, I want to thank everyone for coming out this morning. We're going to be in the parade at 10 o'clock, but this is really a great opportunity, I think, to celebrate Elgin, Kane County, and the Fox River, a very, very special river. This is the drinking water for, I believe, Elgin and also down the river for Aurora and other communities. It's important that we always take good care of our water in Illinois. Long time ago, 100 years ago, Mark Twain once said that whiskey's for drinking and water's worth fighting for. So we're going to fight for water everywhere we can in Illinois, and especially the Fox. What a beautiful river, a special river. It's part of the whole Illinois River network. It flows into the mighty Illinois River that flows all the way to the Mississippi and then on to the Gulf of Mexico. So our state has really been blessed by having lots and lots of water, abundant water, whether it's Lake Michigan or the Fox River, the Illinois River, and Mississippi River is 583 miles of our border in Illinois. But we have a duty in our Constitution. It says that in our Constitution we have an environmental article that was adopted 40 years ago. And in that 40 years we've made substantial progress. We still have ways to go, but we have substantial progress in cleaning up our water and our air all across Illinois. And our Constitution says that everyone has a fundamental right to a healthful environment, that includes clean water. And it's the duty of every person to provide and maintain a healthful environment for this and future generations. And lots of people along the Fox River for generations have worked to improve the waterway, to make it cleaner, and to make the area along the waterway more available to citizens. We're going to hear from our various folks here today to talk about that mission. It's a mission of all of us, but it's particularly important that right here in Elgin, it's really, I think, shown the whole state of Illinois what a community can do when it embraces the water that it has. People want to live near water. They want to work near water. And it's important that we make sure we have our water available for people who want to have recreation or just want to walk along the water, work along the water. So these two canine friends of ours, they may even swim in this water, and we want to make sure it's as clean as possible. It's very important that we have that, and I want to thank Ted Panesis and his wife Beth for their never-ending commitment to the environment, especially to clean water and especially to the Fox River. It's a God-given resource that it's our duty to make cleaner and make sure that it's better. So what I want to do now is bring forward some of the people that have been part of this mission, that have made it possible for us to be here today. We're going to be signing a bill, a very important bill, that will really remove phosphorus from chemical fertilizers that are applied to lawns and such. If that phosphorus gets in the water, it oftentimes creates a great amount of algae. Algae isn't real good to smell or real good to taste, and if you're drinking that water, we don't want algae in our water. We want to reduce that, and we want to make the water healthier, and so we're going to hear about that. I think it's very important that we have this mission all over our state, and the bill today is a very important step forward to having clean water in Illinois, and one group that fights every day for clean water all across Illinois. It's really a steward of our environment, and that's the Sierra Club. They have a great, great organization in Illinois. Proud to be working with them, and without further ado, we're going to ask Jack Darren, who's their executive director. Jack, come forward and speak about our good bill. Okay.
Thanks, Governor. Let's give it up for Illinois' Green Governor, Pat Quinn. Governor Quinn has been such a strong champion for clean water, not only as our governor, but for many years as our lieutenant governor, and throughout his whole career in public life, he's been a champion for the environment. And his administration, under his leadership, and with people like Doug Scott at Illinois EPA and Mark Miller at Illinois DNR, we know we've got people looking out for our drinking water and for our environment every single day. And that's so important, obviously, everywhere in our state, but especially here in the Fox River watershed. I love coming out to Elgin and the Fox River Valley because you see so much about how people are moving forward. This was a river that was really on hard times 20, 30 years ago. People who live along this river remember the shape that it used to be in, and it's just beautiful and wonderful to see cities like Elgin up and down the river going from turning their backs on the river to really opening up their downtowns and making it the center not only of a great quality of life, but the economic revitalization of these communities. And we're learning that as this region blossoms, that people want to live here. It's a fantastic place to live, one of the greatest places in the world to live. And if we're going to continue to have that kind of growth, which we want, we need to take care of our river to make sure that that recovery continues. And we know from the work that we do in looking at the river that nutrient pollution is one of the things we've got to keep our eye on. Some of our local Sierra Club leaders from our Valley, the Fox Group, are here, like Fran Caffey and Elaine. Our Water Sentinels project, we're out there looking at pollution levels in the creeks and in the Fox, and one of the things we see sometimes is that those nutrients like phosphorus get a little bit too high, sometimes way too high. And nutrients are something that are good for life. It's a fertilizer, but too much of a good thing can really cause problems in our river. If we over-fertilize our river, then you get the river can turn pea green and have nasty odors, affect the taste of our drinking water, or suck the oxygen out of the water that fish need to breathe. So cities up and down the river, the state of Illinois are taking action to try to reduce those levels to make sure that the recovery of the river continues and then we can have a cleaner Fox River for future generations. Phosphorus comes from many places. One of those is fertilizers, and today's bill is going to allow Illinois citizens all across this state to have not only a lush, green, beautiful lawn, but a clean river at the same time. Today's bill basically sets a national model for commercial lawn fertilizer companies. When they offer you their product to take care of your lawn for you, their fertilizer is not going to have phosphorus in it anymore. That's because our soils in Illinois, we are blessed with fantastic, productive, good black soil in most parts of our state, and there is plenty of phosphorus in there already to make our lawns clean and lush and green and healthy. If we put extra on there, it runs off in a rainstorm and causes problems in our rivers. So the Sierra Club was proud to work with leaders in the industry, like the True Green Company, for example, is a company that's already offering no phosphorus fertilizer to its customers. This basically sets a standard for the fertilizer industry so that you know when you choose a lawn care provider for your lawn, not only are you going to get a clean, green, and lush lawn for your family, but you're also going to have a cleaner, healthier river or lake, depending on where you live, for the future.
Illinois Environmental Protection Agency, he's just been a strong voice for clean water every day I've known him, and I've known him a long time. And without further ado, we're going to ask Doug Scott to come forward. Doug, come on now.
Thank you. Jack told you a lot of the reasons why something like this is very important. And just to give you a little more context, it's not just important here in Elgin, it's not just important here in Illinois, but it's important throughout the entire country. This is an issue that the United States Environmental Protection Agency is looking at. In fact, in the Chesapeake Bay area around our nation's capital, they're now putting a kind of a diet, a nutrient diet on all of the agencies and all of the water that feeds into the Chesapeake Bay because of this very issue, because of the algae growth that happens, because of the oxygen that it takes away, and because of the detrimental impact on fish and on drinking water that it can have. We have the same issue in the Mississippi River as well, and that causes a problem not just for us locally, that causes a problem all the way down in the Gulf of Mexico with the same kind of issue with the algae blooms and taking away the oxygen down there. So not only do they have the issues that they've got with the spill right now, but they've also got this particular issue as well. So doing our part here today not just helps us, doesn't just help us locally, but helps us nationally. And again, the legislation today, combined with other legislation that's been passed in Illinois before, really puts us at the forefront in this state of doing our part to take care of phosphorus and other nutrients in the water systems.
Well, I want to thank Doug Scott. He does a great job every day fighting for clean water. And along with our director of the Department of Natural Resources, I had to appoint a new director right after I got sworn in as governor. I've known Mark Miller for a long time. He, together with myself, we work on the Great Lakes Commission. I'm chairman of that, of 8 states and 2 Canadian provinces, protecting our Great Lakes. I'm also chairman of the Illinois River Coordinating Council. That's all our rivers in Illinois, and Mark is my right-hand man there, and I want Mark to come forward and talk about that mission of making sure that we always take good care of our rivers all across Illinois. Mark?
The Fox River itself has done a tremendous turnaround. Nature is extremely resilient in returning, but one thing about the Clean Water Act and all the efforts since has been very clear, that we need to have public involvement. Groups like the Sierra Club, Friends of the Fox, the Monitoring Network, the Water Sentinels, having municipal involvement like from leaders like Mayor Schock at ELGIN, and also when you get up to the level when we have a positive reinforcement from leaders like Governor Quinn, who work on the Illinois River Coordinating Council and steer things towards these goals of having clean, fishable, and swimmable waters. We're going to make that goal of the Clean Water Act a reality, and it's going to take steps to get there. This bill today is one of those steps. We know that non-point source pollution from the surrounding landscape is one of the impairments of rivers, lakes, and streams. Those impairments affect fish. They affect the drinking water source, as Governor Quinn said, and we know that we're going to have to address those through many different means. This bill is a success in taking those steps, and we're very pleased to have that come to fruition today. Not only will we like it, but the fish will like it as well. The Fox River here has come back from the days 38, 40 years ago. And the fish here are doing quite well, and we want to make sure that that continues so that we can all enjoy it, man, fish, animal, and we'll be able to make that goal of having a fantastic resource here along this waterway. So thank you very much.
I really do think here we are the day before the 4th of July. Our country is all about democracy. Everybody's in, nobody's left out. That's what we believe in our country. Everybody has a role to play. Democracy is not a spectator sport. It's an enterprise, a God-given gift that involves everyone. And anytime I sign a bill into law, I think it's a special commitment to democracy. And there was a lot of work put into this effort by the Sierra Club and many people who love the environment, by our legislators. We want to salute them. Mike Nolan was the sponsor of this bill in the Senate. And then also municipal leaders like Mayor Schock, people in government, and most importantly, the citizens of our state. And so, you know, tomorrow, as we celebrate our independence, and today as we have the parade, we should remember those who are in the front line of our democracy. They can't be here. They can't be in a parade or a ball game or barbecue or a picnic. About a year ago, about this time, I was in Afghanistan and Iraq. And I can tell you right now that there are service members from Illinois that are on the front line. And we honor their lives every day, and we thank them for their sacrifice. So this is what we're doing on their behalf. We believe in government of the people, and we'd like these young girls. Why don't you guys come over next to me, and we'll get this going here. Everybody get to take care of the bags.